The midnight call to dispatch on October 14, 1998, detailed a grim discovery on the desolate shoulder of Highway 9. First responders arrived to find the body of 28-year-old Elias Vance, seemingly the victim of a hit and run. Yet the pristine condition of his clothing and the absence of vehicular debris immediately challenged the initial theory. The scene presented a chilling paradox. A body left in plain sight, but stripped of any clear narrative regarding how it arrived there. According to the initial forensic report, the cause of death was blunt force trauma, but the physical indicators did not align with a high-speed impact. Investigators scoured the asphalt for tire tread marks, shattered glass, or paint transfer. They found nothing. The perimeter yielded no footprints, and the victim's pockets were empty, wiped clean of identification. This absence of trace materials created an immediate investigative vacuum. Without a primary crime scene, detectives were forced to rely on neighborhood canvassing and missing persons reports, which provided agonizingly few leads. Weeks turned into months, and the Vance investigation slowly transitioned into a cold case, buried under the weight of an exhausted evidentiary trail. 14 years later, a routine audit of the cold case files prompted a re-examination of the victim's clothing using modern techniques. The breakthrough did not come from DNA, but from forensic palynology, the scientific study of microscopic pollen and spores to establish links between people, objects, and locations. A specialized vacuuming technique applied to the victim's wool coat revealed microscopic grains of pollen deeply embedded in the fibers. Laboratory analysis identified the pollen as belonging to a rare species of mountain cedar, a tree entirely non-native to the coastal region where Vance's body was discovered. Botanists confirmed that this specific cedar only bloomed in a highly restricted microclimate nearly 200 miles inland. The microscopic evidence offered an unshakable geographic anchor. This botanical signature forced investigators to completely reconstruct the timeline of Vance's final hours. If the pollen was fresh and intact, as the microscopic imaging suggested, Vance had to have been in that inland cedar grove shortly before his death. The narrative shifted from a random coastal highway encounter to a premeditated transport across state lines. This new geographic data directly contradicted the original statements provided by Vance's former business partner, Julian Croft. As testified by Detective Eris Thorne during the preliminary hearings, Croft had claimed he and Vance spent the entire weekend of the murder in the city, providing a seemingly airtight alibi. The mountain cedar pollen effectively dismantled that narrative, placing the victim in the exact region where Croft owned a secluded hunting cabin. Armed with this discrepancy, the prosecution built a circumstantial but scientifically robust case. Their strategy hinged on proving that the microscopic spores acted as an undeniable physical witness. However, introducing novel scientific evidence required overcoming significant legal hurdles, specifically demonstrating the reliability and general acceptance of botanical forensics within the broader scientific community. The defense immediately sought to suppress the evidence by attacking the chain of custody. This legal term refers to the chronological documentation that record the sequence of custody, control, transfer, and analysis of physical evidence. Defense attorneys argued that the 14-year storage of the wool coat compromised its integrity, suggesting the pollen could represent secondary contamination rather than direct contact. Court records indicate that the presiding judge ultimately ruled the evidence admissible, a decision that sent shockwaves through the legal community. The subsequent guilty verdict did more than resolve the Elias Vance mystery. It established a critical legal precedent, validating the rigorous application of forensic palynology in a court of law and expanding the toolkit available to cold case investigators nationwide. The resolution of the Vance case fundamentally altered the landscape of trace evidence analysis. It serves as a stark reminder that the environment inevitably leaves a signature on a crime scene, no matter how meticulously a perpetrator attempts to clean it. The truth in this instance was not found in a smoking gun, but hidden within the microscopic dust of a mountain cedar.